You got all of these stories about sundown towns being more prevalent. And a sundown town is, if you are not white, by sundown, you better not be in that town.
Oh, damn.
The sundown towns is real.
So like they're hunting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you'll be strung up on a tree.
What do you think about Benjamin's premature, or it wasn't before the fact, to be fair. I don't know how to get my facts wrong. But it was like, it wasn't me.
Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous.
Sorry, guys. Hey. Nothing to see here, man.
Nothing to see here, buddy. Right.
Who said oil? But you bring up NASA, and something has come to mind. There's a moon mission coming up soon. And one of the astronauts put the video on the screen.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go.
In all his excitement during a press conference, he's like, for the first time. Off the Grid podcast here with big Homie.CC, man. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, brother.
Welcome back again.
We doing big numbers right now, man. My people love you. You feel me? The interview I did with you did the most I ever did on my page.
Salute, man. Salute.
So I got to thank you for that, bro. Because it's hard to find people that you could like. You know how it is having the chemistry on camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be able to
vibe, man.
To vibe. You got to be able to vibe, for sure, for sure. How you been, though? What's going on with you?
Man. Work, just grinding, trying to get the content out, trying to keep the flying going. Just the whole trifecta, man.
Yeah.
Living life, man.
Just for people to know, if y'all didn't know, you know, Eric is an actual pilot, man. You feel me? I actually had seen him on the tarmac before.
Oh, yes, we met.
On the tarmac, you feel me? So tell the people how you didn't see the runway till 10 feet.
Oh, yeah. So
break that down.
So yesterday I was flying, pretty rainy day as we were talking about.
A lot of rain yesterday.
It was at night. We're coming from Mombasa, which actually also came from Mombasa.
For sure.
And at around 1,000 feet, we could see the runway.
Okay.
And as we got closer, the rain was more intense. We were like on full wipers. I was a pilot flying. My captain was on monitoring. And we're not really seeing the runway. We kind of so our instrumentation is showing us that we are online with the runway.
No doubt.
But you need that visual cue so that you can stick the landing.
Absolutely.
So 50 feet, it calls 50, 40, 30, 20.
Damn.
And then 10. So at 10, we kind of held it. I kind of held it there in case we need to do a go around.
True.
Until I saw the center line working. I was like, put it down.
Stick the landing.
Reverse thrust. I was thinking, I wonder sometimes, like, do passengers know what goes on in here?
No, they don't. They don't. And that's why I wanted you to speak about that. Because, bro, I'll be on a plane. You know, working as a bodyguard, I'm always trying to digest all the information around myself just so I can prepare for whatever may happen. And usually I'll have a seat near the front of the plane because I usually get like, if I don't have an exit row, I get the front seat so I have more leg room. But I'll turn around and look, and I'll look behind me. People are on their phone. Some people are snoring. Some people are just completely blacked out sleep. Oblivious. And I'm like, man, up there in the cockpit, these guys are probably experiencing a whirlwind of different things, and we would never know.
And sometimes, I don't know if you ever noticed, like the welcome address when we welcome everyone on board, and we kind of say, pay attention to the safety brief, even if you are a frequent flyer. Because
the safety briefing is important.
Frequent flyers don't give a damn.
They don't care.
Neck pillow.
Wrap up. Time to chill.
In fact, I've heard now in the States, people are taking edibles to travel. Like this to be guys want to be high on rolling in flight.
In the States, everybody has their own strategy for the duration of the flight. Some people like to try to get Xanax. People are taking edibles. People are taking melatonin. And it's just like, for me, do I really want to be blacked out sleep? Why this
ocean landing?
Right, come on, dude.
Melatonin, you're waking up, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, so on my jumbo jet flight, the lady picks up the seat and says, in case of a water landing, grab the seat. I turn around, nobody's looking. I say, so nobody even saw that. I said, well, I know if anything happened, I'm grabbing that seat. You feel me? For sure, I'm grabbing the seat on the gas I am. So I got to shout out to you for that, bro. I always try to pay attention to the logistical side of things, bro, because being a pilot is tough because I'll look out my window and I'll see fog. And I say, man, the pilot is seeing the exact same thing. And we still getting here in one piece. So, you know, I salute you for that, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
For
man.
sure.
But you were recently, I know for the viewer in the States watching, like you're in Nairobi, we're in Nairobi, but you're in Mombasa, man. How's Mombasa, man?
Man, you know,
Holiday destination, man.
it was a holiday destination for me, and it ended up being like my permanent residence.
Oh, so you're moving there now, permanent?
Yeah, so I set up my house there. I'm out there chilling. You feel me? Because, you know, I live in Vegas in America, and that's a desert.
Hotter.
Super hot. And people are telling me, oh, you're going to go crazy here in December, November. It's going to be horribly hot. I'm like, I don't think you understand. Where I'm from in Vegas, you know, it could be 120 degrees, which is like, what, 55 Fahrenheit, 55 Celsius. It could be 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is scorching hot. So I've been asking them, like, is it dry heat? Is it humidity?
What do you prefer? I think humidity is terrible, man.
Humidity is terrible. I prefer dry heat. Vegas is dry heat. But, you know, being an athlete, playing football, I done traveled around a lot of places as an athlete. So I've experienced humidity. Chicago is a humid place during the summer. I've been to Thailand. Thailand is the humidity there. Is out.
Yeah. The moment you disembark the aircraft.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like what's going on? Like, okay, I see new territory. But the people in Mombasa, real laid back, good people. It's good living out there, man.
You enjoyed yourself, huh?
What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you kind of have two houses because you also have a house in Nairobi now.
Yeah. So I got two.
I live in large.
I got two spots, so I'm doing well for myself.
But so much has happened, man, since the last time we sat here, man.
Wow.
I think in our timeline of humanity, it's one of the most interesting times.
Very interesting time.
And I want to start with, of course, man, Charlie Kirk, man. Let's start there because
Okay. I just got the chills about this. Okay.
that one took the world by storm, and there's so many theories, and I don't even call them theories, facts coming out about what transpired on the day, the alleged shooter, the motive behind it. We have Benjamin, of course. Everyone knows who Benjamin is. It's the famous country there.
Yeah.
Making premature apologies before, like, bro.
Now, the thing with that dude, to me, is very interesting is, all right, now, YouTube just did a deal with them
45 million or something
for censoring certain information. But my question is, why did he change his name? You know, his name was not always Netanyahu. It was like Milkowski. Why did he change his name? Why do so many people from this religious sect change their name? Now, you know, growing up in America, the first lady I ever dated was a Nigerian woman. And sometimes she didn't use her village name. But on her ID, paperwork at school, her village name is there. Why is it with this gentleman, his name was changed from an Eastern European name to Netanyahu? To me, that's interesting. I think that's something people need to take a look at. And I'll say this, you know, bro, I've been shot. I've shot people. I never harmed anyone who didn't deserve it. But nevertheless, when I seen the footage of Charlie Kirk, that was a very strange situation because I've had shootouts with people and I'm within 10, 15 feet. The way his shirt moved, like expanded and moved from side to side, and then how the blood streamed out of his neck.
Suspect.
That's supposed to be an exit wound.
So like if the shot had come from like behind or the side or something.
Now, let's talk about this. There was a situation where the Israelis ran a rendition on some people in Hamas, and their cell phones and pagers exploded, immediately killing them. If you look at that footage, like you and I have mics on.
Lapels, yeah.
We have mics on. If you look at that footage, to me, it looks like his mic exploded underneath his shirt, impaled him, and that's what caused his injury. Also, I want to show you this video.
We put it up on the screen right now.
Now, look, let me show you this video here. Now, this video is very intriguing to me because this is the guy, Tyler Robinson. Now, watch this video. This is him.
That's the alleged killer.
The alleged killer. This is during the time as Kirk's getting shot. He's on camera
somewhere else
at the gas station using his credit card to purchase gas.
So the timelines align with when this guy was allegedly with it. Wow.
During the now come on, bro.
Busted.
Now come on. What are we doing here?
We'll put this on the screen.
See, and this is my thing.
Can I send it to myself?
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, yo, if you're going on something like this, something that's high risk, bro, there's no way you're going to be on camera anywhere, especially using your credit card. That's all of those transactions are documented. And in order to use a credit card, the internet is involved. That IP address is going to show up on that transaction. They can literally pinpoint where you were. That's how this was found.
And in the same timeline, because this is the first rouse they tried to use to claim how Charlie Kirk died. In the meantime, as this is happening, some old guy who's appeared at several moments in.
He was at the bombing in Boston doing the exact same thing, causing a distraction.
9/11 as well.
Why is he there? What's his nationality?
He's Israeli. Damn, but that isn't that like some amateur hour thing? Why would they use him 3 times for such major events?
Here's the thing. When you have rogue...
Put that guy up on the screen. Some old, weird dude.
Yes, this gentleman was at the Boston Marathon bombing, doing the same thing, causing a distraction. He was seen at 9/11, also causing a distraction. And and a rare fact people don't realize about 9/11 is there was a woman who observed a group of guys on a rooftop celebrating as this is taking, as the towers are being attacked. She notifies authorities about this. These guys all get arrested, eventually get deported. They are Israeli foreign nationals, all of them. Now with this gentleman, the old guy that's at the Charlie Kirk shooting, you know, it's easy to pull off certain things when you have rogue groups operating with no oversight. And people tend to underestimate the power of human ferocity. And that's what I don't think they accounted for in this situation. Because, you know, I don't always agree with some of the things Charlie Kirk said, rest in power to him. But as a species, you should be able to speak your truth and expound knowledge to people without your life becoming a risk. He wasn't a violent person, didn't have a history of criminality, not known for being an adulterer or someone who commits crimes against women and children.
And as an outsider looking in terms of the American context, isn't that like the first fundamental principle in America?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
The problem with this is, you know, I have been speaking about a tactic I've seen being used in previous interviews where it's almost as if there is someone trying to incite rage from the silent majority in my country. And if you look at history, the white male population has been the most dangerous, most advanced group of killers humanity's ever seen. And if you look at the statistics of things, you know, the white male culture has pretty much been under attack in my country. And when you look at the caskets coming back from wars, those caskets aren't filled with my people, your people. It's filled with them. And you also have to pay attention to how you never want to poke the bear, because, you know, this group have shown that, you know, they got the one group, what's it called? I think it's called Turning Point. I forget the name of the group, but they got several white nationalist groups, and most of them hide their face. They learned that from the Ku Klux Klan.
KKK.
And now what I've told people was, I say, the attack on the border is going to make these groups try to strengthen their ranks. And every other day, we see KKK pamphlets popping up in different areas. We see a lot of people. You got racist rappers coming out. You got all of these stories about sundown towns being more prevalent. And a sundown town is, if you are not white by sundown, you better not be in that town.
Oh, damn.
The sundown towns is real.
So like they're hunting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you'll be strung up on a tree
in 2025.
In 2025, for sure.
God damn.
If you look it up, there were 2 guys that were lynched, found hanging from trees just 2 weeks ago. So, you know, when Trump first ran, they had something called "We the Silent Majority." The second time he ran, he won by landslide, because they are the silent majority.
And it begs the question, is Trump a racist, or is he capitalizing on racists?
Here's the thing. Racism is an ideology that cannot be defeated. The only way you can defeat an ideology is if you literally genocide a group. That's how genocide became a thing, because if you defeat the forefathers of this ideology, the people that are born after them are going to look at them as martyrs, and now they're going to take up arms. The only way you can defeat ideology is through genocide. So do I believe that Donald Trump is a racist?
Like in his quiet moments as he's brushing his teeth, is Trump a racist or a capitalist businessman who realized, wait a minute, I can leverage all these racists for my own good?
Trump said from his own mouth that if he ever ran for president, he would be a Republican. And he said he would lie. So yes, you are right. I think he's capitalizing on the business aspect of things. And like, honestly, I've been around this person. I've hung out with this guy. I've talked with this guy. I've drank with this guy. I used to stay at the Trump Towers a lot. I've never seen him be racist, but you know.
Big Homie.CC, you're doing so well.
So, you know, he's like, big homie, I have to tell you something. What you're doing is amazing work. Just tone it down, son. We got it from here. So, like, once I got the speech and all that type of stuff, shout out his son, Trump Jr., shout out Donald Trump Jr. Once I got the speech, I said, all right. But he been keeping his word. Like, a lot of people who I've been investigating, they locked up now. So I'm like, well, he can't be that racist, you feel me? Because, you know, there's a lot of powerful people, bro, who I was like, man, I know what he do. I know what you do. I know what these people do, but it's kind of like, you know, you got to have a certain budget to go after these people. He kept his word on that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fall back. And I just feel like if someone's truly a racist, it's hard to hide that. It's hard to hide it. And, you know, I don't feel like having pride in your culture and identity makes you a racist. Because Kenyans is the most proud people I have ever seen.
You think so?
Bro, Kenyan people are calm and collective until they're not. You see what I'm saying? And, you know,
that's a very accurate way of
calm and collective. Chilling until they are not. Once they fly, hold on, you taking us for granted? Are you trying to play with us? Then things can get out of control for you. So, like, I've been to other countries, you know, like guys at Burkina Faso are also very proud. But, you know, Kenyans brag about their homeland because they truly love it. You feel me? The difference between Kenyan people and Black Americans is, you know, most Black Americans don't love America because they don't view it as their homeland. So, you know, Charlie Kirk was proud to be a white American.
Is there anything wrong with that in principle?
No.
Because in a world where, or rather in a country where there's such historical racist sensitivities because of the history, and the perpetrators were predominantly white. So is it wrong to be an open, public, proud white guy?
No, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, because I always say this. History is written by the best group of killers, bro. No matter what nobody says, there is no border that exists, no religion that can exist, no nothing, unless you have literally spilled blood for it. This group of people have spilled blood everywhere for their causes, for what they want. How could you not be proud if that's who if your lineage is that? Because you know, in America, in that Bible Belt area, you got people who are still upset about the Civil War.
Till date?
Till today. So, you know, there's going to be a certain sense of national pride behind that. So, and, you know.
But who would it behoove to get Charlie Kirk out of here? Because I have my own theory that I think could tie with others. Because
he turned down a large amount of money.
From Israel, right?
Yes.
But also, I feel like the idea of the way America is set up, it's team blue or team red. And the moment you start purporting to have positive discourse or objective discourse, you're ruining the game. That's not how the game is supposed to be played. And I feel there are many moving parts of people who are watching Charlie Kirk and be like, nah, this guy is bad for this system to exist like it is. We need to have team blue and team red. And they need to be at odds. It can't be, hey man, so what's your opinion? No, nah, man, no.
For sure, absolutely. Good analysis right there. So I'll say this. It behooves me to believe that people simply just hated Charlie Kirk because, well, I've seen a lot of people from different nationalities that were upset about that. I don't think people expected that. And it became a point where, you know, you had black groups supporting him, Latin groups supporting him, and he wasn't supposed to be able to accomplish this. Because, you know, he was like Martin Luther King to that white male group, to that white population. So murdering him on public display, I'll send you a screenshot. There's a guy who predicted this. They said Kirk turned down the money from Israel.
That's AIPAC? From
Yes.
AIPAC directly?
Yes, he turned down the money.
How much money are we talking?
150 million.
God damn, man.
So, and then...
Got something for me, man?
And then he started speaking about, and he said in the interview, I have to be careful how I say this.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, you know, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right.
And it was a shot at
Oh, yes, that was on PBD.
Now, right after that, he's a dead man.
My God. And that was fast.
And I'm telling everybody, I done been in several shootouts, bro. I have been shot up. I have shot people. That is not how it goes, bro. Never in history have I ever seen someone get shot like that. His shirt moving like that is just not how it go, bro. And then the blood is going to come from the exit wound. The front streaming blood like that. Foul play was involved. And it wasn't from no 30-6. Hell no.
So what's the deal you think with this guy, the guy we showed earlier, the purported shooter, and how is it a conscious role he's playing, or is he a victim of a narrative? What's the story there?
Okay. There have been situations where the Italian mob had used another person to commit an assassination. these people become mentally unhinged, and they convince them that they're doing an honorable thing. They run, I call it renditions. You feel me? They run a rendition on them, and they set them off on a path. MKUltra was a real thing that took place.
And MKUltra, if you're watching for the first time, and you've not had that term for the first time, of course, is mind control, man.
Yes, that's a real thing. You know, this is a real programs that took place. Declassified docs show it. There are a lot of different ways to get someone to pull off something like this. I don't want to say certain things on here because, you know, YouTube has its guidelines. But what I will say is we must continue to resist, because there are people who are pulling strings and manipulating our reality to the point where, you know, Kirk could have been a presidential candidate.
Oh, yeah.
Had he become a presidential candidate, it would have been very hard to defeat him. There are going to be investing interests who probably don't agree with that, probably wouldn't want that to happen. Because, you know, Trump came out of nowhere. You feel me? They didn't expect for him to win, but he did. And then he won again. And, you know, the bureaucracy is starting to evolve more. And, you know, they're going to continue to try to install their people into that spot. I feel like he was definitely somebody who could have been ushered into that role, because, you know, there have been other deaths. Never have we seen people getting their whole syndicated shows canceled for it. Never have we seen people getting arrested for speaking out about them. We've never seen that in America.
That's some third world country shit.
That's some third world country stuff. You feel me? So once you see that, it lets you know that, you know, there are certain people that are operating the machine who don't agree with how the overseers are running things, and you got to keep that in mind.
And this ties into, because I'm a Candace Owens fan. In terms
Shout out Candace Owens for sure.
She's big time. I've said famously, her presentation is second to none, and I've always felt like her life is in danger. And with every waking week of her amazing podcast, the way she's going about her things, I'm like, man, like does she have a death wish? And then, so when Charlie Kirk was shot, my mind went to that must have also been like a message to people like her, man.
Absolutely.
Like, we can shoot you in broad daylight. We can kill you in broad daylight.
And this is my thing. Okay, hold on. Now, I have been in situations where me and the homies may have decided, you know, we got to make an example out of somebody today. What they just did over the weekend, we got to let them know this will not be tolerated. That was one of those situations. Candace Owens was offered $50,000 a month to stop talking about Macron's wife and friends. That lets me know that she has some group that is protecting Candace Owens for some reason. So now I'm looking at it like, okay, whoever is powering and pushing her is probably against who wanted Kirk dead. Candace Owens has to have a dead woman switch. She has to.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like people know that, and they're concerned, all right, if we kill her, because, you know, she's an investigative journalist.
Man, and whatever team she has around her, bro.
She got a serious team. Here's the major flaw with the whole situation with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's his whole security team was Israeli.
Man.
The whole team. And the same dude who runs that company has been seen with Benjamin several times.
What do you think about Benjamin's premature, or it wasn't before the fact, to be fair, I don't know how to get my facts wrong, but it was like, it wasn't me.
Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common...
Sorry, guys. Hey. Nothing to see here, man.
Nothing to see here, buddy. Right.
Who said oil?
Right.
That was like suspicious, man. No one had even started to look that way. And then the guy comes out like, yo, man, we didn't do nothing, man.
It wasn't us. What had happened was, and to me, people become overly confident. People become cocky when in positions of power like he holds.
Because they say he has America like by the nuts.
He said it out his own mouth to people. So it's just with this group of people, bro. I try to be careful because
those guys have their tentacles are everywhere, everywhere.
And some of my best clients were Jewish people, bro. You feel me? And they all get strange when stuff like this gets brought up.
And I think again, this is allegedly. I think these guys also use some supernatural powers, because there's an interview I was watching of Danny Jones with a former CIA guy. And he was talking about how there was a time they were in some incident with the Israelis and they locked a hotel from the inside, from the outside. And they just couldn't wrap their heads around how the fuck they may have done that.
Yeah.
And he was just saying there are different level of whatever they do. Like, it's just something that's not...
To be able to... So they killed the guy in the hotel, and then when they left, they were able to lock the door. So, like, they had to go in through the window to get the door open and find this person that was in there deceased. And they said they couldn't figure out how they did that.
They killed a guy in a hotel room in Dubai. And then after they killed him, they were somehow able to lock the door from the inside of the hotel room. And we tried like magnets and different ways. We couldn't figure out how they did it.
Like a latched door?
They did the latch and this one. And the guy's in there dead. And the hotel couldn't even get it open. Yeah, they ended up sending somebody in from the balcony. How they do that?
I'll show you off camera how you can do that.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. That's at least that debunks that.
They get this, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on with certain devices that I was privy to that I may or may not own. I'm seeing being put up for sale on Instagram, on certain websites. And there's definitely a way to do such. I feel like the timeline of when this took place with a guy who was speaking, he probably wasn't read into this type of technology at that time or like during that time frame. And it probably still resonates with him because at the end of the day, he's not going to be on the extraction team, that person.
Yeah.
You feel me? But still, did he say, he said it was a key card lock, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That can be done.
And
well, no, they locked the latch from the inside.
We'll put the clip up from Danny Jones.
I believe he said they locked the latch from the inside.
And the guy was like, what? Like, the guys could not understand how they did that.
Yeah, so, I'll just say this. How I would do that, there's a series of magnets that you could use. But still, it'll be very difficult to get it done
CCTV.
secretively. It would take some time to get that done, but it can be done. But even still, I know they use Jinn.
They do for sure.
I know they use Jinn. And are you familiar with the process on how to summon a Jinn?
I'm a Professor Snape guy, man. Defense against the dark arts.
Okay. Shout out Professor Snape for sure. Severus. Team Severus for sure.
Talk about it.
One aspect of it is you have to cover your body in human feces. And you have to stay in that form for like 24, 30. You have to stay in that form for hours in a dark location, remote location. You have to continue to reapply it to your body. So you're eating
feces.
Yeah, you got to rub this on your body, and you can't clean yourself until the Jinn arrives. It's like a tribute to it. So So imagine being a person where, you know, you hold up in some shack covered in human feces, you're urinating, and you're using the urination to lubricate it more so it just don't dry up on you. Yeah, it's a lot of this. That's one of the aspects for summoning the Jinn. So, like we discussed previously, you know.
So you've heard about this happening like firsthand, like people actually doing this firsthand, like
yes,
couple of times.
More than a couple times.
Damn.
Yeah, more than a couple times. I even worked with a dude who said that he's seen with his own 2 eyes. They were chasing down a guy. He said the guy started floating off the ground, but his legs were still moving. Outran them, their police car, everything. Scaled the side of a building to the roof. They ended up having to go up to the roof, calling helicopters. They get to the roof, don't see the dude. But one of the older dudes on their team said, let's just wait here. They waited, and about 45 minutes later, the guy just appeared out of nowhere. So they locked this dude up, and they got this on video. They locked this dude up, and they said, this dude said, yeah, I asked my Jinn to help me run and hide from you guys.
Damn. So how do you combat the Jinn? Is it to just move my Jesus piece and be like, yo? Because, and the reason I ask this is because every time I've had I believe dreams are another realm, but a real realm. And every time I've had dreams where there's some demonic entities and I'm struggling and fighting for my life, and at some point, somehow my consciousness remembers, wait a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
I got this trick up my sleeve, man. Sure. He's called Jesus.
For sure.
And as soon as I said Jesus, it scrambled.
Now, look, I'm glad you said that. Now, like I always tell people, whatever people call me about, I'll pull up and then I investigate it. Several times when I talk to people who had an abduction story where they seen the little gray alien guys coming in their room and taking them out their room, they said the only time it stopped was when they called out for Jesus. And to me, that's profound because why would they care?
So that means interdimensional and interstellar are not separate. So, like if there's life on another planet, it's still subject to Jesus and subject to God. It's not a separate thing.
Exactly. That's why in quantum physics it says time is linear, so everything is taking place at the exact same time. Now, to expound on that, I keep my receipts. Now, watch this. Now, do you remember the drone incursions that was taking place over Air Force bases and airports? They couldn't explain the drones?
Yeah.
Now watch this video. Now, this one was what? Now, another thing, just to add up real quick, the MUFON is the Mutual UFO Network that investigates all UFO events. People call in and make reports. He was talking to someone and they said, yeah, I called out for Jesus and the Grays left me alone. He says, no big deal. So what? The aliens hate Jesus. Why would he say that? So then, look at this. Press play on that. That's an Orb UFO that was filmed in Pennsylvania.
Can you talk to me?
Damn.
Can you hear me?
What entity is this?
Jesus loves me.
Do you see that?
Oh, damn. Put that on the screen.
Do you
right
see
now.
that, bro?
You know Jesus.
It's things taking
Jesus
place.
is awesome, isn't he?
Why would that react?
Be affected by the term Jesus.
Why would that be affected by that?
And then, oh my God. That's crazy.
Strange things taking place, bro.
Man.
Strange things taking place.
So that Jesus name is powerful, man.
For sure, bro. Like, look, I have been in situations where, like, I'm not one of those people who pray asking for stuff. You see what I'm saying? But when I do, it's serious. If I'm asking for something, it's life or death. Like, all right, look, I need you to intervene here because this is getting out of control. And I swear to you, things would just start taking place. And I feel like that's only because, you know, I stay on my path. You feel me? I don't deviate from it. You know, I'm not out here putting on an act. You know, I take my spiritual beliefs very seriously. But, you know, I study a lot of different religions. I take bits and pieces and I apply it to myself. And, you know, something interesting to me is when people say they had an experience or an abduction experience, they explain the smell of smelling sulfur. In the Bible and other religious texts, when people see demons, they explain the smell of smelling sulfur. Okay. Look at the Riddlerson Forest incident. What they say? They say they smelled sulfur. There have been several instances when I investigate, even when I investigate Dogman, people say it was a smell of sulfur.
Talk about Dogman a little, because I've been seeing a few clips coming up. It's becoming more mainstream now.
Okay. It's gonna get crazy now.
Michigan. It's from Michigan.
So there's a website called the North American Dogman Project. So the North American Dogman Project is similar to MUFON, how they categorize, document all of these encounters. Now, you just mentioned that you believe that dreams take place in another dimension. I believe that some of these beings are crossing over from different timelines, different dimensions. And I believe whatever technology or method that they're using to do so creates this smell of sulfur. So when some people say aliens or demons, they associate that sulfuric smell. I believe that's one reason why. And even some of the descriptions of some of these creatures, horns coming out the head and red eyes, sounds like a demon, but they seem to come off a ship or they seem to come through a portal. Then you get to Dogman. And now I got receipts. You feel me? So, all right. Now this is going to be crazy for you. Because this was crazy for me, bro. Like, you know, you hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But let me show you this person right here, man. It's a crazy one. This person, I know this person is not fabricating to me what they saw. So let's just, all right. So I'm gonna go to this person's Facebook page and just take a look at this person. Now this person is in Fort Pierce, Florida. All right. Take a look at the person with the purple hair.
Yeah.
This is obviously a trans lady.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, can we put this up?
Yeah, you can put this up.
I was gonna be like, well, damn.
Well, damn. All right. So
the lady on the side looks like, yeah, she ain't no woman. Man.
I remember when this is my nephew. She remember that was her nephew at one point in time. Okay. Now, this person contacts me. It says, "Big homie, I got something I gotta show you." So at first I'm going like, "Oh man, what is this about to be?" But then I saw the video, and the video was pretty compelling. Pretty compelling.
Please send me all of these.
I'm sending it right now. Here we go. Right here. Go to the DM. Boom. Pretty compelling footage right here because she explains to me that she said, "Hey, I just seen a giant wolf man outside my door." I'm like, as soon as I get calls like this, first thing I ask is like, "Yo, is this like?" I look at the calendar first. First thing I do, I look at the calendar and I cross-reference what type of holidays could be taking place, where people may be in costumes, et cetera, et cetera. It's nowhere near Halloween. This person don't really practice too many religions, anything like that. Okay, cool. Now, the problem is, throughout history, you hear a lot of things about werewolves. And that's something that we see in modern media a lot.
They made movies around, you know.
Yeah, like Underworld with the Lycans and the vampires, all that type of stuff. Now, hold on, I gotta find this video. The thing is, while I find this video, type in Catherine Cross.
Catherine Cross.
Killed by human wolves.
Killed by human wolves, okay.
Now, Catherine Cross, I believe this is like 1610. On Catherine Cross's tombstone, it says, killed by human wolves. Her husband was adamant that people who transformed into wolves killed his wife. The autopsy was horrendous. They couldn't explain how the body got in such conditions. He went to his grave. They said he was crazy. He went to his grave screaming that human wolves killed his wife. You can pull this right up. Why is this man saying this? Is this guy, did he drink that many beers that he couldn't tell who killed his wife? The autopsy comes out and said that it looked like a failed abortion and an animal attack. Her husband ended up almost in an insane asylum until one of the doctors pretty much understood, look, I know what happened to your wife. These things are real. They exist in this area, but you got to stop talking about it because if you don't,
they're going to come pick you up,
They're going to come pick you up. Now, this was in the 1600s, I believe, when this took place. Let me pull it up real quick, make sure it crops right.
And Hollywood, of course, like we've said on, I think, a previous episode, we talk about how Hollywood always try to present us with some of the things that are real, but they present it as, of course, fiction.
Yeah, because they serve it.
And, I mean, we had Vampire Diaries. What was the famous one with this?
Twilight.
New Moon. Like, oh my God, you can fall in love with the vampires. Like, they try to make it seem like it's cool.
Read that right there. Catherine Cross killed by human wolves. This is in American history.
Died in, yeah. This is 1917.
It's 1917. I said 1600s. I was tripping.
Damn. So what are these things? What are these? What is a human wolf? Is that a werewolf? Because how it's been presented, time immemorial, is around moonlight, sunlight.
Like when it's a full moon.
Yeah.
Now, see, what people don't understand is women's menstrual cycles used to be directly connected to the moon.
28 days, yeah.
So if that is interrupted, things can happen. Now, I got this I want to show you. Now, this right here is very similar to what a guy showed me on his trail cam, and this was in the Deep South.
Oh, yes.
Now, why would that be there? Like, why is that on this man's trail camera?
Yeah, you can't say this is a human being.
You can't say that's a human being. And then, eyewitness testimony is the main factor on getting people convicted for life sentences. So where have we become with human skepticism to where we're discrediting the words of our peers based off something that we just can't fathom because we've never seen it? Back when human beings were hunters and gatherers, if you did not trust the words of your peers, people lost their life. Let's say Eric shows up to the village and say, yo, we went down there to the lake. There's a pack of wolves down there by that lake. Don't go to the lake by yourself.
Man, Eric tripping, man.
They say Eric tripping. So dude who say you tripping, he goes down to the lake. It starts to get dark. He don't come back.
Yeah.
Everybody says, so y'all should have listened to Eric. So now Eric got to get him and his homies, and they got to go down here with a search party to look for you, putting everybody else at risk because of human skepticism. It is becoming a virus, and it's becoming detrimental to our species simply because if we cannot trust the words of our peers, how can we prepare for an unseen enemy? That's just how, to prepare for the future, you got to study history. It's the only way to have a reference point. Now, what I just showed you, if you saw something like that, you're not finna misinterpret that for being a bear.
And I've lost just onto what you're speaking on around humanity and the super skepticism that exists. Sometimes when I'm flying at night, and I always imagine like if a UFO pulled up here, like right in front of my aircraft. Like, and I'm with my captain, and we'll probably be like, you know what? There's no point.
Okay.
If we don't catch it on camera, it's like there's no point of telling people because no one will believe us. In fact, if anything, we'll lose our jobs.
And that's another thing, especially for pilots.
We'll be thrown in a
a lot of pilots don't say anything what they saw just for job security, because like if you fail the psyche valve, you can't fly.
Plus, we've seen some weird lights in the sky, and I've seen people not even willing to go there despite what they're seeing. So I'm like, bro, what was that?
What was that?
And they're like, nah, it's just some.
Yeah,
They don't even want to go in there.
They don't-
But when it comes to these entities that are presenting themselves in physical form in like an animal-esque kind of way, alien kind of, are these like demons, you think? What are these? Have they escaped from another realm and found themselves on Earth? Like, because I think it all ties back to the proverbial God and the devil. And for a Dogman to exist, for those dark entities, there's a term for them, the ones in
shadow people.
in Peru. What are they called? Paracalaca or something?
Pelacaras.
Pelacaras, yes. Put a Pelacara on the screen. Are these entities from the dark realm? What are these? Which realm is this? And why do they find themselves in our timeline?
It is of my belief that somebody sold out humanity. And I believe that we have become a resource here to higher beings that are traversing through different dimensions. Because when people speak about, I'm just going to go out and say it. When I go and I've been in the field researching Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Agagwe, Agagwe is the Bigfoot term for the creature here in Kenya. There's a creature with this same hominid, ape-like build on every continent. There's a guy by the name of Bobo Fay. Bobo Fay is a Bigfoot researcher, good guy. He used to work with Jeff Meldrum. Rest in peace to Jeff Meldrum. And I seen him say that PhD level people go out into the field and investigate certain things, and they seen portals open up, the shimmering, purplish, pixelated, and they seen things come out of it. And each time they only speak about two entities. Well, three entities they speak about. The Dogman, the Sasquatch, and the dark shadow beings. And a very interesting fact is there's a guy named David Paulides who has a program called Missing 411. And he studies mysterious disappearances. In a list of these disappearances, there's about 40 people who fit the exact same build. White, German descent, either brilliant when it comes to academia or on the spectrum. How is it that multiple PhD level physically fit scientists, doctors disappear in the wilderness, all fit in the same age group, all with the same German lineage? How are these people just disappearing without a trace? It's almost as if somebody is farming. And I feel like that's what's uncomfortable, that people don't want to talk about. And it's almost like we the worker bees. If 10,000 of us die here, it doesn't matter because we're going to reproduce more. The truth is indeed stranger than fiction. They put a lot of things in movies because they want to downplay it, because in all actuality, it seems like they seem to serve it. And that's just, it gets no more clean cut than that.
And when it comes to portals, because you've touched on portals, man, there's a famous, of course, we've heard of CERN. Everyone has heard of CERN.
Yeah.
The super hydro collider thing. And people are saying that, or rather it's being espoused that they're opening portals and entities are making their way through. And some of that ties into whatever you see going on in the world. I want Venal to put up a video of the opening ceremony for CERN.
Yeah, it's
And-
all ritualistic.
How is this in any shape or form
Science.
celebratory? like we're celebrating, like, yo, this is some weird dark shit.
It definitely is. And I believe that this is why they censored the Bible by removing the book of Enoch. I believe this is why, because it's the same way how government will have some information and they classify it. Keep it classified so the regular people can't get to it. Because if the regular Joe gets to it, he can ascend as well. What can you and bro sitting here with this information, what can we summon to come through a portal? That's the whole problem. They can't control that aspect of it.
Do you think there's anything good to be summoned from these portals? Is there like, hey, what's up, man? I've been waiting for you, man. Like, is there like a good thing that can be summoned from a portal, or it's all like underworld shit?
So look.
Cause sorry, the reason I ask,
I've never said this publicly.
okay, go ahead.
But yes. And the only way to know, oh shit, okay. You my boy, so I'm gonna say this.
Exclusive.
All right. There is a certain flower that when one of these beings comes into this plane, this flower grows out of nowhere. No root system, no planting. It's a small white flower that grows out of it. It can show up right here on this table. Let me pull up this flower. When you see that flower showing up, one of these beings that's positive has come through this side. And that's a fact.
So and what's their role? Are they here to like combat now the
I believe that they aren't supposed to directly interfere, but they can give us little things to help us in the fight. That's what I believe. I've had experiences. I've done hundreds of interviews talking to people. I done traversed the planet. And
so like little nudges here and there.
Little nudges. And it's just all about who they get. It's all about who gets it. Usually people get it, they branch off, do their own thing. Some people share their information. I'm gonna pull up let me see.
Do you think the most powerful intellectuals on the earth, the masks of this world, are getting information from somewhere?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's not just pure genius, human genius.
Even Nikola Tesla said that he had contact with a supernatural force. All throughout history, we see people who received a download from a supernatural force that told them how to make things. We've seen this over and over and over. You know, that's the reason why you don't see a lot of geniuses, because soon as someone is, look at the United States rocket program. All of those guys came from Nazi Germany. They gave Nazis a pass because of the technology they possessed. So, you know, it comes down to this. What are you going to trade? Because it seems as if you have to trade something.
Is that your soul?
Or somebody else's.
Because the problem I have with the soul is that it's final, man. There's no, like, if you bargain with your soul, that's it.
Right.
And according to the Christian doctrine, for example, you're going somewhere that you can't come out of.
Absolutely.
So the soul thing is a dangerous one. But you bring up NASA, and something has come to mind. There's a moon mission coming up soon. And one of the astronauts, put the video on the screen.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome. One of the things that we most asked for and look forward to is we are going to do a crew conference between Integrity and the International Space Station, the crew that's up there. And I will tell you, our friends that are on
In
Crew
all his
11
excitement during a press conference, he's like, for the first time, we're going to be sending human beings to the moon. And in upper orbit, and guys were like, "Hey, what?
What do you mean for the first time?
For
Right.
the first time. What about all the Apollo missions?" Like guys are like, "Wait, what?"
Did you see the clip of the guy saying that we have Space Force people on the moon?
I didn't see that. You have that clip?
Oh yeah.
But that guy, and it's a young astronaut. He looks nothing north of 40, so it's like a relatively young guy. But he was reckless at the mouth, and the world saw that, man. The world saw that. He said it out of his mouth for the first time in human history. We're going to be sending people to the moon.
So there's a guy on his deathbed. He made a confession to his family that he killed his coworker because they had filmed the moon landing, and his coworker was going to whistleblow about this, and he killed him. So it didn't come out. Hold on. Watch this. This guy said we have people on the moon, which is a Space Force guy, which is crazy. But
And people, you mean like humans, or you mean like beings of sorts?
humans.
Man. But with the vastness, man, it's almost impossible to imagine that we're alone.
Mathematically, it's an impossibility for us to be alone in the universe. It's an impossibility, and people have been saying for years that we aren't. So, see,
Did you experience, as you find the clip, did you experience anything? Because for the viewer, maybe you don't know, earlier we talked about how Big Homie has a house in Nairobi where we are now, and in Mombasa. And Mombasa is, of course, a tourist destination, ocean destination, seafront. And historically, places that are seafront tend to experience more paranormal activity than most places. So coast is infamous for the my friend's wife who made me that wonderful picture. And
no doubt.
she talks about how when they were young, they used to go on road trips to Mombasa, and there was a time her and her brother, and this one that struck me because both her and her brother saw the same thing. It wasn't a one person seeing this thing. They saw an entity, like a lady, but the feet were like facing back and floating by the road. And apparently when the dad saw it, he tried to play cool because they were still kids. Like, you're not going to be like, kids, did you see that?
Did you see that? Yeah, yeah.
When you're in Mombasa, did you see some shit? Because Mombasa is infamous and famous for... You may have interacted with a lady who wasn't a lady, man. For all you know.
I've had some interesting experiences in Mombasa. It's definitely strategy for me setting up shop there, because I did talk to a person who said that somebody came out the water and took her to the bottom of the ocean. That was interesting. And I was given a video. I mean, I don't know what this is in this video, but I'll show you. I try to be careful when it comes to the whole mermaid thing.
Why is that?
Because what if I told you that some of the experiences that you have out in the field, there are ramifications of it that can follow you home.
Say that again? Some of the
experiences that you have in the field, some of the ramifications or side effects of this can follow you home.
And when you talk about field, you mean like your field of work, or what do you mean?
Field, being a paranormal investigator, like certain things I have seen, other people have seen, like certain things can indeed follow you home. I don't want to discourage people from investigating stuff, but
do you feel like also investigating through perhaps just the internet? Do you feel like you can open things that you don't need to open and bring them closer to home?
On a digital level, of course. I'm speaking more so of like, is there somebody in the house with me that I cannot see? Because I'm getting the chills. Okay. I was in Clackamas County in Oregon. I'm out, very remote area. I'm with some people. I'm a city boy. I had to adapt to be able to live in these remote areas. In a lot of just you gotta to find the camp. You gotta follow a game trail, and the game trail is the trail that the animals use, not people. So I didn't see it physically there, but I heard it. I could feel his presence. But when I was back home in Vegas, I seen something standing by my house that, there's no trees there, there's no grass. Why would... There's no reason for it to be there. You feel me? I said, man, I'm a long way from Oregon. How could this, if this is real, how could it find me here?
You think the entity felt you're more vulnerable there at that specific place as opposed to like where?
I feel like that's a good way to put it. I feel like it wanted to communicate with me in my safe zone, or I feel like it wanted to offer me something. And I just I was told by this old Native American dude that if they ever offer you anything, don't take it. And sometimes I think to myself, man, what if I would have took it? Like I don't. It was strange. I know it was a lot bigger than me. It was covered in hair. It shouldn't have been where I seen it. But we'll say that because I want to get back to this video. Because the thing is, I got family. You feel me? And I don't ever want to. I always had a rule. I never let my work come home with me. And once you start dealing into this realm of things, ontological shock is real. Like people can see things and change them permanently forever. So when I was staying in Diani, I was doing a whole nother type of investigation that you know about.
Yeah.
But I was talking to the guy who was the caretaker for the building. And I say, man, I really want to go out to the beach. He says, no, not right now. It's very dangerous. I'm like, why? Because it's dark? He said, yeah, it's because it's dark, but things can pull you into the water. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, But the way he said this, it was like, no, not right now. It's very dangerous. And I'm like, damn. So then I seen this. I don't know what this is, but I'll let you tell me what this is. Press play on that.
Looks like a mermaid, man.
And I said, what type of fish is that? He said, it's not a fish. He says, no fish has a tail like that around here.
Send me that. Damn.
And I'm looking like, damn. And when I looked at this...
So what do you think mermaids are? What are they?
Elder species. If you look at the globe, the majority of our planet is water. The majority of the planet is water. So between Russia and the United States, on the backside of our planet, well, that's all water there. And it's just
there's more water than land.
It's
for
more
sure.
water than land.
And actually they say more space has been investigated than the actual sea. Like there's a famous lady called Erica Mukisa. Of course, a lot of people can say things about her, but she does a show called Life is Spiritual. With a Bamboo former rapper.
Okay. Okay. I know that is. Okay.
African Bantu. And she went as far as taking...
he been hitting me up on Instagram.
She went as far as taking people to... Because she was in the underworld, but through Lake Victoria. And she took people... She's like, this is where we used to enter and go. And she's like, there's a whole world under the water.
That's a fact.
That people have no idea where the cities, kingdoms, things happening. She said a lot of products apparently that we consume come from that realm. We just don't know it because we always think industrial area. This product. She's like cars, vehicles, all consumer items that you can imagine. She's like a lot of them come from the underworld.
I believe what she means by that is reverse engineered tech that has been reverse engineered to produce some of the items that we use, because there were government programs that were built simply to remove artifacts from the ocean floor and bring up to the surface. They have deep sea vehicles that they never built for production, but they only use for special access programs. And that's got to be for a reason. You feel me? They found a new species of killer whale recently. So if you can find a new species of killer whale, come on, man, what else is there? And when you go back to what Luis Lamar said, the guy who ran Ocean X, National Geographic's Ocean X program, he said out his mouth, he encountered an advanced group of people, a new species that live in the ocean. He said this. This is public record. He said this. And I don't think it's by choice that we don't investigate all these places, because just like Neil Armstrong said, we were shooed away from the moon. He said that. Gonna be the same thing for the ocean, for sure.
And as we spin the block and land this aircraft,
All right.
we started off with Charlie Kirk and we went everywhere. But I also want to just touch briefly on, what do you think about his wife or his widow? What do you think about her demeanor post his death? And of course, RIP, but I'm seeing some people talking about her.
It's hard to be sad when you about to get a $20 million check. His life insurance is probably huge. And, it's hard to be sad. Come on, man. It's just the facts, bro. It's just the facts, And a lot of ladies, like when you decide to be a wife, you're putting your personal ambition sometime to the side to help the family and to propel your husband to be what he can be, to take care of the family. All of a sudden, he's gone. You're the one on the microphone now. All of the assets go to you now. The spotlight is now on you. It's hard to be sad when that's going on. Because I've been in situations working for clients. I'm not like, man, your husband just died.
$20 million, man.
We at the club the very next day. But you got a disguise on.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, you're not even sad. Oh, okay. I've seen this. But I've seen dudes spend hundreds of thousands on their wife. When the husband is gone and they got the hundreds of thousands, how happy they are was unsettling for me. I said, hold on, man. I'm going to go find me a woman out the village. I ain't going to be playing with this right here. No. You feel me? Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, though.
Yeah, RIP Charlie Kirk. Anywhere else you'd like to go?
Man. I think we did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
I think we scored again.
Yeah,
right here.
I think that was
yes, yes, sir.
Another banger.
Another banger for sure.
Man, thank you so much for coming, man. Off the Grid podcast. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? You're slacking on the job, man. We're going to be doing this regularly.
Yes,
Hope you got infotained, entertained. Big Homie.CC, the one, the true, the only, is in the building. Thank you so much for coming, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. Always. We working.
Thank you.
You nice with it, man. I gotta keep stressing that point.
Thank you so much.
For sure, brother. Yo.